Good
Good
evening,
evening, KU.
My name is Marlon.
And I'm Emma. So, Marlon, you were kind of late this afternoon, weren't you?
Yes. Traffic sucks, and parking here is horrible. So I cut it short today. So.
But hey, at least you're here.
Yes.
That's the good news.
Another week of Good Evening KU.
Oh yeah, super exciting.
There's a lot to talk about. Did you watch the football? Did you go to the football game?
I didn't go to the football game because I'm just not a huge football fan, but I appreciate it. I actually went to a concert on Saturday. I saw the Mountain Goats, which are like an indie rock band, and at the Liberty Hall, and it was super cool. I got to see them outside of Wonder Fair with a few friends of mine, which was kind of cool, I have to say. Seeing the person you're about to see just walk out of a store, pretty cool.
That's dope.
How was your weekend? Did you go to the game?
I did go to the game. It was unfortunate that we lost, but we still have another chance this Saturday versus Duke.
Yeah.
And so I think that if we try harder, then we can get that win.
Yeah, and hey, it was the Big 12 opener. There was a lot of pressure for that game.
Yeah.
So I can understand like the hiccups, but I feel like we can make a good comeback.
That's
hopefully.
True. Yeah, we just got to get our heads in the game, and that's it. How was your week? How's the week going with school?
It's been going good, struggling a little bit, but I feel like that's what college is about, is struggling for a hot second.
Right.
So how about you?
I feel like this week has been the longest week ever. I have like 4 projects due. I have 2 exams this week. And so I feel like it's pushing through, but we're almost there. We're at week 5 though. So
yeah, that's pretty exciting. Week 5.
That's crazy.
I know. It's
Did you catch the Emmys this weekend?
I didn't catch the Emmys. I saw like the live Twitter feeds.
Yeah, same here. There was crazy turnout with Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I think it was Ted Lasso and The Mandalorian. They like tied for 7 Emmys, right? Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that he won. Ted Lasso came out with a huge win that day, so good for him.
I also saw that RuPaul got the honors for, it's like the most honored black artist because he got his 11th Emmy, I think. Yeah, he got his 11th Emmy this past weekend, which is
crazy.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're there one day
to
experience it.
I would be so excited to go to an Emmys. Like, just going to any award show would be pretty cool.
That is true.
Getting, like, decked out in, like, a fancy outfit, like,
yeah, those outfits,
dream.
They're just getting crazier by every year. So hopefully by the time we get there, there's a little change.
Oh, yeah. Maybe not too crazy, but still pretty fashionable.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Also, tomorrow's the first day of fall.
How
exciting is that?
It feels like it.
It is so nice to have like cooler weather. I pulled out the cardigan and jeans today just for the occasion.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it this morning. So it's better to dress for the weather now. So.
Oh yeah. Also, pumpkin spice is back. That is so exciting. As a fall connoisseur of myself, pumpkin spice is like my biggest excitement during this time of the year. What do you think about pumpkin spice?
I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin spice, but I won't say no to it. So
I get that completely. Yeah, no, like anytime I go to Dunkin' or Starbucks, it's always a pumpkin spice latte during this time of year, and I wear that with pride.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have for today, right?
Yeah, I think that's about it. After the break, Christy and Alex will be back with some news updates.
Diversity. What is diversity? It can be an umbrella term for a variety of things, ranging from diversity among different people, places, cultures, and ideas, to the way people express themselves and the way they interact with the world. In today's world, people interact with one another and share their thoughts through social media. Let's take Twitter, for example. How are people of different backgrounds, ethnicities, and sexual orientations with different political beliefs, interests, and job titles using this platform differently? Currently, celebrities are interacting with their fans on Twitter by speaking their minds, sharing their beliefs, and supporting social issues. Professional sports figures and organizations in the United States are using Twitter to support social causes and bring attention to current social matters, such as encouraging their fans to vote. Users are voicing their opinions about current issues surrounding racial inequalities, social injustice, and police brutality in the United States. There's diversity in the way people are discussing the upcoming presidential election, especially regarding their opinions of each candidate. Different news outlets are not only highlighting stories in the US, but are talking about important stories from around the world. But many Twitter users don't post about controversial matters or social issues at all. Rather, they use their platform to create memes and post funny content for entertainment. While many topics going around this app involve social issues and political opinions, Twitter creates a space where people can pull together collections of diverse thoughts, comments, opinions, goals, and even a little humor too. So how can we use this platform to express our differences? More importantly, how can we use it to learn from each other's differences today?
Welcome back. Today our special guest is Michele Watley, and she is a 2021 Fall Dole Fellow. So welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first question is kind of obvious, but what is a Dole Fellow?
Well, a Dole Fellow is a leader or expert in the political space who's been tapped or selected to visit the university and host a series of discussion groups. And these discussion groups are cultivated and developed by the fellow, and they cover topics that are pertinent to politics today, in the past, or in the future. And so being named a Dole Fellow is quite the honor. It is quite the accomplishment, and I'm excited to be the last fellow before the current executive director transitions out. And so I have big shoes to fill, but I think that with my discussion series, those shoes definitely will be filled, and it'll be a great experience for everyone involved.
So we're going to have these discussions over the next couple of months. What are the topics going to be?
Yeah, what I'm hoping to do is to do a overview of all of the issues related to campaigning and politics that have occurred in the last 4 years or so that will impact politics not only today, but in elections moving forward. We have an election season coming up in 2022, and shortly after we'll be looking at voting for either a new president of the United States or keeping President Biden in office. And over the last 4 years or so, we've had some very historic and significant things happen, not only in the political space, but just in everyday life, that's going to impact the election seasons in 2022 and beyond. And so my discussion series titled What's the Matter with American Politics will do a dive into all of the things that have occurred and what voters can expect in 2022.
Is there a short answer to that question? What's wrong with American politics?
Not necessarily. That's why we have to have a 7-week series to discuss all of the issues. There's not one issue, but I do think that we're in a unique time and space in which our democracy has been challenged in ways that it hasn't been in recent years. And so we really, as Americans, need to take an assessment of what does political engagement look like for voters? What should be our expectations of public servants who step up to lead? And what can we expect from government in order to ensure that our democracy continues to thrive despite all of the historic and significant events that may make it harder for democracy to be robust and to be the democracy that we all envision as Americans?
Well, and that's good advice for our students to get involved and to volunteer and do things. Going back to the lecture series now, why is it important for our students to come and hear what you have to say?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that I've tried to be very intentional about this lecture series. I was intentional about who I selected to participate. I was intentional about the topics because these are the topics that we're experiencing right now in this moment. And what I'm hoping to bring is a level of expertise and dialogue that will allow participants to walk away with a greater understanding of the issues that they're seeing take shape in front of them, but maybe aren't able to articulate or fully comprehend what is actually taking place, what they're actually watching. But to also have an opportunity to have a dialogue with experts and either fine-tune your perceptions or what you think or how you feel about these issues, or to walk away with a different perspective. All of our speakers and panelists represent a plethora of backgrounds, whether it be political ideologies, levels of expertise and experience. I have chosen people of color, women, people from other demographics who are not typically represented in this space or positioned as experts. So if you come, you might see someone that you see yourself in. at a level and in a position of expertise that you may not typically see.
Right.
So I think there's a lot that can be gained and learned from participating in this series, and I hope that not only your students, but I hope faculty and staff and members of the community also participate.
Right. And these are going to be Wednesdays from September 22nd to November 3rd at 4 p.m. at the Dole Institute, right?
Yes.
And how long are they going to last?
They're about an hour. I think our last session is the first week of November, but you can feel free to show up late, or if you have to leave early, leave early. Just don't miss out. It'll be live streamed also on YouTube, and so yes, the Dole Institute is technologically in the know. We're using all the digital technology we can for those of you who may not be able to make it out, but we want to make sure it gets out to as many folks as possible. So I'm excited, and I hope that your students in the KU community will join us.
Right. Well, you do sound excited. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Not really. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to participate. If you'd like to learn more about Shirley's Kitchen Cabinet, you can visit our website at www.shirleyskitchencabinet.org. For all of your students who are looking to intern, we love interns. We pay our interns, and it could be a good experience to learn about how to be an advocate and how to advocate. So thank you for having me. This has been a great discussion, and I look forward to seeing you at our Dole series.
Yeah, we'll have to be there. Well, thank you for joining us. That's all we have for right now, but we'll be back after the break.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back. I'm Alex.
And I'm Christy, and this is Good Evening KU. Beginning in November, the U.S. plans to ease travel restrictions on fully vaccinated foreign visitors. The new rules will require all fully vaccinated passengers to take a pre-departure COVID-19 test within 3 days of their flight, and all foreign nationals must show proof of being fully vaccinated upon arrival. There will be no mandatory quarantine measures upon arrival.
The country is getting fatter. A new study from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention reports that 16 states have obesity rates of at least 35%. That number is up 4 states from 2019 and 9 states from 2018. Just 9 years ago, in 2012, not one state fell into this dubious category.
According to research, more than 20% of people in all 50 states were obese. Mississippi has the highest rate of obesity at almost 40%. Colorado is the lowest at 24.2%. The rate in Kansas is 35.3%.
Obesity rates are based on self-reported height and weight data gathered through telephone surveys on health-related risk behaviors, chronic health conditions, and use of preventative services.
KU Dining announced a closure of some options on campus due to the lack of supplies and employees. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to dining services experiencing unprecedented labor and logistic distributions.
With staffing at about 65% of its normal levels and sporadic food deliveries, KU Dining has had to reduce some offerings in order to maintain core services. To make up for the issue, KU has added $300 in Grubhub dining dollars to students' accounts. Dining hopes that the issue is temporarily and will be resolved by fall break.
And in sports, the football team stayed close and had all the momentum at halftime, but then collapsed in the second half, falling 45-7 to Baylor. A Jason Bean to Trevor Wilson touchdown pass just before halftime brought the Jayhawks within 7 at the break, with KU receiving the second half kickoff, but both of the Bear offense and defense dominated the final 2 quarters, outscoring Kansas by 31 points.
KU is now 1-2 overall and 0-1 in the Big 12 Conference. 2 road games are up next as the Jayhawks will travel to Duke next Saturday and then to Iowa State the following week.
The volleyball team swept its way through another home tournament this weekend, knocking off Kansas City, Missouri State, and Albany. KU is now 8-3 overall with a 6-match winning streak to close out non-conference play. The Jayhawks will travel to Texas Tech for a Friday-Saturday matchup against the Red Raiders.
And that will wrap it up for today's news update. After the break, Halen will be here with the weather.
Good evening, Jayhawks. It has been a great day for some weather today. We had a cold front push through last night, and we are certainly feeling those cooler temperatures, but we're going to be seeing those colder temperatures for tonight and much cooler weather for tomorrow, as tomorrow is the first day of fall, and we've got the weekend slightly trying to become a little bit more warmer. But as I mentioned before, we had a cold front pushing through our area yesterday, bringing along with it showers and thunderstorms to the area, and we'll see this time lapse right here. They'll show the shift in the clouds, which is so fascinating to watch. And here comes that cold front right at around 5 o'clock yesterday, and we really saw those temperatures dissipating down, or we saw those temperatures really drop down from at least the upper 80s into the 70s for tonight. And let's take a throw out right now, a look outside of our studio right now. We see again very beautiful conditions out there. Got a little bit of a breeze out there, but overall a very pleasant weather out there. We're at currently in Lawrence 77 degrees. Topeka still holding on at 79 degrees, and Leavenworth up at 72 degrees, but overall 70s across the board, and dew points are extremely dry, only in the low 40s for most of our viewing areas, so we do not have any humidity to work with and won't have any humidity to work with for the rest of this week. Satellite right now showing us we do have a few of those clouds. We did see a little bit of a pop-up of isolated showers and thunderstorms to the north of Topeka, but those are slowly dissipating, and we won't see any rain chances or any kind of rain in our area. But other than that, we are seeing the debris of those clouds hanging around in our area, so that's what we're mostly seeing. Mostly sunny skies, but overall, again, very pleasant weather, but breezy winds from the north at 18 miles per hour and gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Very nice weather, and we're going to get even colder as we get on into tonight. We did reach a high of 77 degrees today and a low of 55 degrees this morning, and we are smack dab right where we want to be for the average for this time of the year. And we did see a record setback. It's 97 degrees setback in 1956, and then a 35 degree low setback in 1999. And we'll continue to see temperatures continue to drop further for this evening. We'll still hold on to those 70s by 5 o'clock, and then by 7 o'clock we'll finally break into those upper 60s, then eventually down into the 50s, and even further down to about bottoming out at 46 degrees for tonight, with clear skies and very calm winds from the north, calm winds to 5 miles per hour. And we will continue to see even nice weather for tomorrow. First day of fall, we're looking just great with temperatures at a high of 72 degrees. Dew points staying, again, very low, very dry, and that north wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as the fall begins tomorrow, right at 2:20 p.m., it'll officially be fall. We'll get 12 hours of daylight, equal hours of sunlight and moonlight, and we'll really start to enjoy those fall temperatures for the rest of this week. 73 degrees for your first day, or 72 degrees for your first day of fall, and then we'll still hold on to those 70s well into the weekend, at least up until about Sunday. We'll try to creep up back into those lower to mid 80s, and then going into next week, we'll kind of creep back up into those upper 80s possibly. But other than that, very clear weather, very nice weather. We certainly want to get out and enjoy the weather we're having right now. That is all I have for this weather forecast. Thank you for tuning in to Good Evening KU tonight. We will be back next week. Have a good evening and stay safe, Jayhawks.